What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back to another exhilarating episode of Off the Schneid. We're drafting. We're talking value. That's what we're doing tonight. We're gonna dig into each position. We'll go position by position. Where I see some value, I think there's some serious value to be had right now early. And will it dry up? Probably not. Realistically, a lot, guys have their takes and they stick to them, which is perfect. That's exactly what you should do. But I just disagree with a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing right there, and some of the stuff I'm hearing. But maybe we'll get into that later. Might be a bit of a soapbox moment, but we'll see. I don't think I'll get too worked up, but we'll see how she goes. Let's say what's up to the chat. We got Hartman in here. What's up, man? Appreciate you popping in. We got Jeff T. I feel so exhilarated. It's exhilarating, edge of your seat type stuff. Hulk smash potatoes in the house. What's up, man? Appreciate you popping in. Let's jump right over to Underdog and let's take a look at where we have some value, where I see some value. Quarterback, there's only one on the board that I really like a lot. I like the value. I like the player. I like the team. I like the OC. I like everything. I like the head coach. And that is Justin Herbert. I love me some Justin Herbert. I've said it for weeks, a couple of weeks. I've only been running. This is only the third episode. So I've been saying it the whole time since I've been back. I love me the Chargers this year. Love the Chargers. I'm going to be drafting the shit out of Chargers. Going to be drafting Justin Herbert. I'm going to place a bet that the Chargers win the Super Bowl next year. I'm all in on the Chargers. I think he's a huge value here. I think he can easily outscore Jalen Hurts. I think he can outscore Caleb for sure. Drake May, Burrow, even with the rushing ability. Jaden Daniels could kind of equal with the ceiling as far as rushing ability. So I just think that Justin Herbert's really the biggest value right now on the board. Not that he's the biggest on the board, because I don't particularly believe in taking quarterbacks before round 8, and that's where he falls. I think he's round 7, maybe 6 for sure. But Justin Herbert, that's my guy at quarterback as far as value is concerned that I'm seeing. So there you go. I'm not going to take up too much time with this. We'll talk about it while we're drafting, but I do want to go through a few names. Let's jump over to the tight ends quick because there's only a couple here as well. But Tyler Warren, he's kind of on an island now. Fannin opened up the contest right neck and neck with Warren, and that's changed, which it absolutely should. Give me Tyler Warren over Harold Fannin, no questions asked. And he's kind of on an island, so he's 20-plus picks past Colston Loveland, and now pushing 10 picks ahead of Harold Fannin there. So, like I said, where he goes in the draft, I'm clicking a lot of Tyler Warren right now, and I feel pretty comfortable about that. We know for a fact, we talked about it last episode or maybe the first episode. I can't recall. We talked about it in previous episode that the Colts are going to be losing either Michael Pittman or Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce is obviously an undrafted unrestricted free agent. Wasn't undrafted, second-round pick. But unrestricted free agent. Pittman, they could move on from and then use that money to re-sign Alec Pierce. So one of the two is going to be gone for sure. And then Tyler Warren, I don't see them really investing too hard into wide receivers. So give me some Tyler Warren at ADP and the range that he goes. Moving on from there, who's my next man up? Mark Andrews. He's actually falling a little bit right now. I think it's a bit of a travesty. Isaiah Likely is probably gone. Most likely, I think he wants to get a chance to play somewhere where he's kind of an every down guy. Couple spots like Miami is definitely wide open on the table for a guy like Isaiah Likely, though Slowick might want more of a blocking type tight end. Hard to say. The Eagles are definitely on the table for Isaiah Likely. I think he would fit like a glove over there, though there's another guy I think could work in that offense. But Mark Andrews is probably just re-signed a contract with the Ravens. We know that Lamar likes him, especially in the red zone. So give me some Mark Andrews. This is I don't understand this. We're saying Kenyon Sadiq over Mark Andrews. We're saying Hunter Henry. Like, what you're getting at a Hunter Henry. right? We know what we're getting. Mark Andrews could be a top 3 tight end, and we know that as well. Hunter Henry can never be a top 3 tight end. Sadiq, complete mystery box. I'm not so sure I'm going to like him. I haven't watched tape yet, but I'm not so sure I'm going to like him. Definitely not enough to take him over Andrews. Ferguson, okay, sure. Kittle, injured. Goddard, always injured, banged up a little bit. Brenton Strange over Mark Andrews. I just think that's an absolute travesty. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I'm going to be trying to pick up as much Mark Andrews as I can kind of get. I pick 150. I think that's crazy. Moving on, Isaiah Likely, I think, is a huge discount right here. Again, I think the Eagles makes a lot of sense for Isaiah Likely. Maybe Miami, but I'm not so sure with that offense. But I honestly think the Eagles, and again, there's another guy I like for the Eagles offense, but maybe we'll get there, maybe we don't. David Njoku probably goes to Atlanta. Makes tons of sense. They don't have a ton of free money. They do have a little bit. They're about $27 million free. Plus, it's going up by about 20 to 25 million. So I guess they could if they really want. But with Kevin Stefanski coming in, I think it makes a lot of sense to bring in a David Njoku. So that makes sense at Atlanta. I just like him at this pick. Almost pick 200. It's basically free. Give me some David Njoku. Who else do we got? I think there's one more. Maybe not. That's it for tight ends. Cool. Let's move on. Let's jump in the chat here. Let's jump in the chat. New collector, good evening, OTS. Congrats on that. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, we're doing well over here. I appreciate that. Chargers win the Super Bowl is aggressive for a QB with zero career playoff wins, but you never know. Don't disagree with the undervalue and best ball take. Yeah, I mean, it is risky. Obviously, I'm going to make the bet immediately. Probably, I think they'll probably drop odds as far as sites I can bet on right after the Super Bowl. And then I'm going to put a bet on the Chargers to win next year. I don't care that he hasn't won. Like, I really don't, considering what I think that team is going to look like. And with Mike McDaniel coming in and with Jim Harbaugh, like, I don't really care that he hasn't won a Super Bowl or hasn't won a playoff game. Sorry. I think they're fully live personally. King QC dropped a like. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for popping in here. Mark Andrews seems like last year's Goddard. I could see that. I could get down with that kind of comp. I don't like Mike. I don't like Dallas Goedert. I really don't. I'm not really entirely sure why. I just am not a big Dallas Goedert fan, but he puts up points and he's a fine draft pick, that's for sure. But regardless, and that's a good comp. Fantasy Football Garage, what's up, man? Appreciate you popping in here. Tush Push definitely getting banned. Hurts ADP. Fair factoring that in, Hurts ADP would drop on the news. I think it probably does. I agree. I think it probably does get banned. And that absolutely would hurt his ADP. So yeah, he's going to slide down. He's going to kind of, I feel like Hurts is going to end up on like an island by himself. Like we were talking about with Warren there. He's going to fall. I think Dart probably falls, but, Hurts, if that happens, he falls to just below Patrick Mahomes, probably. You might have to give me Brock Purdy over Jalen Hurts if the tush push is banned. Honestly, we'll see. I still like his rushing ability regardless, but he's not going to get nearly as many touchdowns. Obviously, we know that. So it absolutely hurts his ADP. So definitely give me Herbert over Hurts. Like Dart is going to run just as much. Lawrence runs a fair amount, gets just as many. Like, yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for Hurts if or when that happens. So tough click right now if you're asking me. Sus, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming in. GM, how's it going, OTS? I'm doing well, man. Doing real well. Appreciate Doc79 popping in here. Will the new OC give Goddard 5 shovel pass TDs? Well, Goddard's a free agent, so we'll see what happens with Goddard. I think he's probably going to be on the move. I think he's just going to kind of command too much money. So a guy like Likely that's unproven, I think he'll be cheaper. So I think that makes more sense for how the Eagles like to kind of pay people and find talent. So where does Goddard go? I don't really know, if I'm being honest with you. I need to dig into these rosters, and maybe somewhere like Tampa might make some sense for a guy like Goddard. I don't know, because Cade Otton is a free agent. If Cade Otton doesn't come back, something like that. We'll see. We'll see. But I don't think Goddard's back with Philly. I'll tell you that. Let's do running backs. Then we'll rip through wide receivers. Then we'll get in a draft. Let's go down the list. No one yet. There's some good values, but no one that I deem necessary to call a value. Bucky's moving up, so this might change, but I think Bucky's a value here. Give me Bucky over Josh Jacobs. Give me Bucky over Chase Brown. Give me Bucky over the guys he goes ahead of already, so that's obvious. But I love me some Bucky Irving with Rachaad White 100% leaving. That offensive line is still in a pretty good spot, and they can add to it. But with Zach Robinson coming in from the Atlanta Falcons, I love me some Bucky. He looked great when he wasn't, when he was on the field last year. He was banged up a little bit, but we can't kind of bet on injury like that again. Usually when a guy gets hurt, I like to bounce back on him the next season, sort of thing. Mind you, he is going at the exact same kind of range that he was last year. Earlier in the draft season, he was going later, so that was more of a value. So it's starting to become exactly where he should go, I kind of feel like, but I still like the value with Bucky, so I'm going to have him on there. Just considering he's going behind these two guys and Chase Brown by a fair amount. Like, I like Chase Brown, don't get me wrong, but I think Bucky can surpass these numbers. And does Chase Brown put up more fantasy points than he did last year? I'd be surprised. It's not out of the question, but I'd be surprised. But, Bucky kind of like 0 touchdowns here. Let's say he got the 3 touchdowns in his rookie year. That's more fantasy points than Chase Brown had last year. So it's pretty close, but give me Bucky at that price tag. Scrolling down, not a lot, man, until we get later. But so Rico Dowdle and Algier, so 2 free agents. It's just like they can do it. We know they could do it. That's the kind of enticing, thing to me with these 2 free agents. We know Rico Dowdle can get the job done. Back-to-back, almost carbon copy years. Had a couple more touchdowns last year than he did in 2024, but basically literally the same attempts, literally the same yards, literally the same catches, and basically the same receiving yards. So we know he can get it done. He wants to be a bell cow, sort of, or at least what he did the past 2 seasons, at least have the opportunity to do that. A reunion with the Cowboys, potentially. Somewhere like the Chiefs, somewhere like the Saints. I mean, I don't know if the Saints make sense for Dowdle. The Saints make more sense for a guy like Tyler Algier. But that's another guy that we know, former 1,000-yard receiver as a rookie, or rusher, sorry, as a rookie, and then just a quality handcuff backup that can do a little bit of everything. Give him another chance to be a bell cow, and let's see what we have. These are 2 values, in my opinion. Give me them over Price, though I do like Jadarian Price, don't get me wrong. Give me them over Chuba Hubbard. I feel like it could be Jonathan Brooks, but I do feel like they bring in some kind of free agent. Maybe even a Tyler Algier in Carolina makes a lot of sense as well. I think they're going to bring in some competition for Chuba Hubbard, considering Dowdle outplayed Hubbard after he signed that contract. Jonathan Brooks was like literally endorsed by Chuba Hubbard, saying no one works harder than, including myself, no one works harder than Jonathan Brooks. So that's pretty good, player speak, if you will. So we'll see. But either way, I think they bring in somebody to compete with Hubbard, and we still aren't 100% on Jonathan Brooks. So we'll see. And we know how much Canales likes to run the ball. So we'll see what happens there. But I like these 2 vet free agents. Emmett Johnson, still a guy. He's rising, so it's going to soften a little bit. But give me Emmett Johnson over all of these running backs here. Gainwell, Bill, Woody Marks. I have him ranked ahead of Coleman, so give me Emmett Johnson over Jonah Coleman. Give me EJ over David Montgomery, and that's kind of where we are. But that's a solid, like, almost 20 pick value there, in my opinion. So I love me some Emmett Johnson. I'm trying to scoop up as much as I can. Katron Allen, for some reason, People just, I don't know, don't want to click, they just don't want to believe. Like, I get it. He's not a home run guy. He will get caught from behind, but he can catch the ball. He can run the ball. And maybe the most important factor about his game is he's one of the better pass blockers, if not the best pass blocker in this draft at running back. That's going to get him on the field. And he can catch the ball. He can run the ball. He can do everything. He's a 3-down back and a big body guy. If he runs, I really hope he runs a 4.4, but he's not going to. He's going to be a 4.5 probably guy, right? 4.55, something like that. If he could get in the 4.4s, that would be amazing. But Kaytron Allen's quickly becoming my number one, most drafted player in the big board season. He is right now, and I think he will continue to be if he stays around this ADP. I believe in Kaytron Allen. I think he can do it all. I think he's going to get on the field, and I think a team like, let's say, the Commanders makes a lot of sense for a guy like Kaytron Allen. He could go there and take over that backfield. Like, fuck Bill Merritt, man. Bill Krosky Merritt is not going to be the guy if someone like Kaytron Allen shows up. So I like this value for him for sure. Jordan Mason, I think, is a very quality click down here. Basically did the exact same thing he did in San Francisco in half a season of starting, and then goes to the Vikings, does basically the same thing. He is under contract. He will be on this team. Aaron Jones is on the team still as well, but I just think he's going to get hurt. I thought he was going to get hurt last year more than he did. He was on the field, so good for him. But I still think the value is there on Jordan Mason, and he's going later than he was, at least in BBM season. So I think Jordan Mason is a very good click down here. I think Kamara is a good click as well at 155. I don't have him on this list because I'm not going to rave about Alvin Kamara, but I think he's a fine click with where he's going. Braylon Allen, he's moving up the board. I know I'm not the only one that likes Braylon, but I really, really do not think it's possible, but I really don't think that Breece Hall is going to be back with the Jets. They're going to have to franchise tag him because I'd be willing to bet that he's not going to re-sign. So they would have to tag him, which I just don't think makes any sense for the Jets to do. So I think Breece Hall moves on, and then Braylon kind of becomes the de facto starter sort of thing. And I think he can absolutely get the job done. I really like Braylon Allen. I really like him. So that's a value in my opinion. Singleton, still a value to me. I mean, I'm not drafting him where I was. He was a 14th round pick for me every time, 14th, 15th round. I would have kept drafting him up to the 12th, round for sure, maybe even higher. I love me some Nick Singleton, but obviously with the broken foot, he should be back though. We'll see where he falls to, and I will keep clicking him, but I was drafting him in almost every draft I was in for a bit there. So I have a lot of Singleton, and I will keep adding. Hopefully we get some positive news as we get closer to the, mini camp, rookie mini camp, and then training camp and stuff like that. Hopefully he has a good landing spot. His draft capital is definitely going to get hurt. So we'll see kind of what happens, but I like Nick Singleton. I'll still be clicking him. There's some late guys that I want to just talk about. I'm not saying draft them, 30% clip, maybe 5, maybe 10 max. Najee. I think Najee Harris is a value down here. I think he can go to a team and just be a goal line back and kind of fall into the end zone 6 to 8 times, which is what he's done his whole career. I don't know the yards are going to be there. I highly doubt the yards are going to be there, but we know he can catch the ball well enough. We know he can pass block. We know he can get into the end zone, call it again 6 to 8 times, maybe one through the air. As a free 20th, 18th to 20th round pick, I like some Najee Harris. He should be fully healed and healthy heading into the season. I think he's more than fine to click down here with the, Adam Randalls of the world. So I'll be clicking Najee as we go. Jordan James, I think, is a quality click down here. Isaac Arendo still on this team. Brian Robinson Jr. is a free agent and probably won't be back. And Jordan James was on this team, maybe practice squad or otherwise, but Jordan James was on this team and he got a little bit of play towards the end of the season. Fumbled once his entire college career, I believe. So I like Jordan James. Again, maybe like a 5% clip, not a lot, but I don't mind clicking his name once in a while. And then LaQuint Allen's the last one down here. So the best pass blocker last year in the NFL draft, catches the ball very well. Big body guy, 6 foot 210 roughly, I think. And if Travis Etienne is gone, which I expect him to be, then I think LaQuint Allen will get a little bit more run. And he played all year. He was active for, I believe, every single game for the Jags. So that's encouraging as a rookie. 2 rookies, Bashal Tuten and LaQuint Allen. So that's a guy, again, 5%, whatever. Last click in your draft. I don't mind LaQuint Allen over here. Let's check the chat. Then we'll work through wide receivers, and then we will start drafting. I agree, not a Goddard fan, but Goddard felt like a value last year in that range and ended with double-digit TDs, which Andrews is fully capable of. I agree with all of this. Yeah, I agree with all of this. I think that's a really good comp for Andrews' kind of value this year and his potential kind of thing. So I agree with that for sure. Eagles had 2 years to re-sign him and chose not to. Goddard as good as gone. Likely the Eagles is a good shout. And Njoku or Chig, the Eagles live too. Yeah. Another guy that I think the Eagles could go after. They just hired as their passing game coordinator, Josh Grizzard from Tampa Bay. Cade Otton is a free agent tight end. I think Cade Otton could be an Eagle as well. That's the guy I was talking about when I didn't want to say it. Here we are. I'm saying it. I think Cade Otton has a possibility of being an Eagle, and then they can run that offense a little differently than they had been with Goddard, because Goddard's not a prototypical hand in the dirt, blocking, can do it all type of tight end. He's a big slot, move tight end kind of guy. So Cade Otton could do different things than Goddard can, and maybe that's something that they want to do more in Philly. Hard to say, but Cade Otton's another guy who's live to the Eagles, I feel like. It's funny, his ADP dropped on trade rumors last year. Now he's a free agent, a year older, and now he goes higher. Yeah, I know. That's something I wanted to talk about, and maybe we'll talk about a little later in the show about last year's results affecting this year's drafting. Let me know if we want to bring it up later in the show. We'll get this done, then we'll start drafting, and maybe I'll go on a rant. We'll see. Chiefs are going to sign a free agent running back. Whoever that is will likely skyrocket in ADP. I agree with that. Could very well be Breece Hall. They could draft Jeremiah Love. They could go with Tyler Algier, Dowdle. All these guys make sense for the Chiefs. I think, yeah, absolutely agree with all this that you're saying. So that's a big reason why I like Algier and Dowdle. So I think one of them could go, or the Saints, but the Chiefs are definitely, on the table there as well. Thoughts on Chuba as a value? Healthy again in Canal systems, it seems good for running back. Definitely agree with that. The Canal system is very good for running backs. What worries me is like Dowdle took his job. Like Canales will, like, he wants someone to be efficient, So Canales was in Tampa Bay, and they ran the 2-back sort of thing, right? It wasn't working. I don't remember if he was there in Bucky's rookie year. Oh my God. Was he there in Bucky's rookie year and they just handed him the job over Rashad White? But he wants efficiency. He likes power runners, so that does favor Chuba. He wants a guy who can pound the rock and he can kind of lean on. So that does favor Chuba, but he could just be running out of steam a little bit. He's like 27, 28 right now? Let's take a look. 26. Okay. I thought he was older. I just have a hard time with Chuba. I do. I just have a hard time. I have a hard time with Chuba. I don't think he's a value here. Like 2 years ago, I was probably the highest exposed Chuba guy when he had his breakout year. Last year, I was basically completely off of him with where he was going ADP wise. He is going lower than he was last year. I think last year was in the 30s. And now he's down. Where is he? Now he's down back in 95. I still think he should fall from here. Again, Dowdle Algier over Hubbard. Dowdle literally took his job. Yes, he did get hurt, and then he came back, and Dowdle started when he came back. But when he was back healthy, they said, you know what? Dowdle's been killing it. He's our guy. We're going to keep – you could say it's riding the hot hand thing, but the bottom line is Dowdle was a better running back when healthy, all things being equal. Dowdle was better than Chuba Hubbard. So he took his job. Yeah, give me Price over Hubbard. Give me Dowdle. Give me Algier. I even like some of these rookies. Emmett Johnson over Chuba for me. I just have a hard time. I don't mind. I'm not gonna say it's a bad click. I'll say that. I'm not gonna say it's a bad click. If you like Chuba, he's young enough. It is a good system. Go nuts. He's just not for me. Just not for me. Singleton injury moves up all other rookie running backs. I agree with that. I had Singleton as my RB2 in this class, and now he kind of falls. Not necessarily because those rankings are just football rankings. It's not fantasy stuff, although I do use that for my rankings and for my drafting. But if we're talking about this year, then obviously, yes, it absolutely moves everybody else up. I still like Singleton, though. I'm going to have too much Katron. People hate on him, but he can handle 20-plus carries and get goal line work. Absolutely. Again, he's just not sexy. He's just not sexy. He's not breaking away for 80-yard runs. He's not Trevion Henderson. No, but he can absolutely be a starting running back in the NFL, and I think there's a very good chance that he could be, depending on where he goes and how it works out. But give me some Katron Allen. Never forget about Naj, big Naj. Coaches love him. Yeah. Like Tomlin was saying that, or he was saying that Tomlin was like a son to him or something like that. So, and Najee's a good football player, man. He is. He's a good football player. So give me some Najee. I thought Chuba got an injury, which is why they switched. Yeah, so he got hurt, and then Dowdle was killing it, and then he came back healthy, and they said, yeah, hot hand. We're going to keep rolling with Dowdle. But like that, basically, whether he got injured or not, it's just bad luck. But he took his job at the end of the day, right? He did kind of struggle down the stretch, and Chuba, I think, came on a little bit towards the end. But I don't know. I think all things being equal, Dowdle outplayed Chuba Hubbard. That's my kind of thought on that backfield. Let's blow through these wide receivers, and then we're gonna get in some drafts here. Ladd McConkey. Like I said about the Chargers, huge value in my opinion. Look at what Jalen Waddle did as a slot receiver in that offense before Tyreek, right? That is what I think could be in store for Ladd McConkey. Then Tyreek Hill comes in and kind of takes over as the wide receiver one. Tyreek when he was, Ty Freak Chill. And then, but the Chargers don't have that. They don't have Tyreek Hill, right? So QJ on the outside, Trey Harris on the outside, Ladd McConkey working, in the slot. I think we can easily get that type of season out of Ladd McConkey. So I'm going to be clicking him a lot down here. Give me Ladd over basically all these guys. Maybe not Olave, but give me a Ladd over T. McMillan's close. Quarterback's way better. So give me, Ladd over Tet. Give me Ladd over AJ Brown. I love me some Ladd McConkey. So this is what I was going to talk about because Jalen Waddle's on this list too. So here's the season. 117 targets, 75 catches, 1,300 yards, 8 touchdowns, 220 fantasy points. That's what I think can absolutely be in store for Ladd McConkey in this offense. But Jalen Waddle moves into a wide receiver one role with the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, the quarterback situation's murky. We don't even know if Tua is going to be the guy there. Even if it's not, I'm not too worried about it. Give me Jalen Waddle at this value. It's starting to slip, so we'll see. Mekhi Lemon, my wide receiver one. Big Mekhi Lemon guy. Give me Lemon over Tate. Give me Lemon over Tyson. Give me Lemon over Watson. Give me Lemon over Odunze, who's another one of my guys. Love me some Mekhi Lemon. Ricky Pearsall, probably the wide receiver one, whether Jennings is back or not. the wide receiver 1 for the 49ers. I think that he's a huge value down here. I'm going to be continuing to draft Ricky Pearsall at a high clip. Denzel Boston, my wide receiver 2 or 3. I haven't finalized my wide receiver rankings, but I have Denzel Boston higher than most. We'll see if he lands there. I don't know if I could put him over Tate and or Jordan Tyson, but we'll see when we get there. No question he's no lower than 4, though, that's for sure. But I think he's a huge value down here. Give me as much Boston as I can get when he's slipping, which is wild. I do like Worthy, but he's not on my list for these purposes. Juwan Jennings, if he comes back to the 49ers, that's a great spot. If he goes somewhere else, it could be a bit of a plus. If it's somewhere like Buffalo, who knows? Very, very, very good blocking wide receiver, maybe the best in the NFL. And then, he can catch the ball. He can do some good things. I like Juwan Jennings for sure. Who else do we got? Some late round guys that I do like. Keon Coleman, who just got some positive, coach talk from Joe Brady over there. And yeah, I'll say this. The only way that Buffalo adds to that wide receiver room, they paid a lot of money to Josh Palmer. He's there. Khalil Shakir's still there. Keon Coleman's still there, right? The only way that they're going to add to this wide receiver room is through the draft. If they might bring in some whatever wide receiver, but it's not going to be a big name. It's not going to be a big contract. It's not going to blow anybody out of the water. The only way that they add to this offense, in my opinion, at wide receiver is through the NFL draft. And we'll see if they do. So if they do, and if it's someone like even an Eric McAllister, who I really like, if it's Denzel Boston, then it kills Keon Coleman. Maybe not McAllister, but Boston kills Keon Coleman. Is that going to happen? I doubt it. I highly doubt they draft a wide receiver high this year. So we'll see how that works out. Right now, I think Coleman's a nice value way down here at pick 212. Jeremy Bernard, my guy. I really like Jeremy Bernard, and the fact that he's falling is wild to me. Wild. I'm going to be 100% Jeremy Bernard if he keeps falling. So I'll scoop it all up. I like Omar Cooper as well. 220. Jalen Knoll, I like. Jack Besh is going to have every opportunity. Second round pick. Quarterback upgrade. They have to work on that offensive line. Obviously, they have a ton of free agent money to spend. New quarterback coming in. Very good head coach. Clint Kubiak coming in is fantastic for everyone as far as the Raiders are concerned. So yeah, I like Jack Bash. He was one of my guys last year, and I'm not jumping off that ship, especially when he's completely free at 230. Jalen Knoll, Christian Kirk's gone. They drafted him to kind of be that replacement, and he looked good at times. He was on the field. Give me some Jalen Knoll. Beyond that, is there anyone else I had on the list? Eric McAllister, I like again as a rookie. Again, 5% maybe. I'm not going to have a lot, but a few clicks to Eric McAllister. And then the last guy, just a professional wide receiver, Antonio Williams out of Clemson, slot only kind of guy. But he is going to make a roster, no question. He's going to be picked higher than most people probably think. This could be the Kyle Williams of this year. We'll see if I get that high on him. But if he stays way down here at 239 and does well at the combine, yeah, Antonio Williams might end up being my Kyle Williams this year. We'll see. But I like him. Professional wide receiver, slot wide receiver, good program. I'm picking up a few shares here and there, but if it gets to the point that it might get to, he's going to be my Kyle Williams this year. We'll see how that goes. There we go. Okay, let's jump into a draft room. What do we want to do? Let's do a big board, I guess. That's what's on the thumbnail. Wait on 8, so tons of room. If you want to draft with me, jump in and we'll get this rolling. Putt Daddy, what's up, man? Appreciate you on IR for a while after surgery, but stop by to drop a like. Oh, man. Hopefully it went well. Sounds like you're doing all right in recovery mode. Appreciate you popping in. Appreciate that. Heal up, man. Heal up quick, and hopefully you're back on the golf course in no time, brother. Bernard, my highest drafted wide receiver at the moment. King QC. Yeah, great minds think alike. I'm going to be 1,000,000% Jeremy Bernard if he stays there. So you betcha. Jalen McMillan feels like a great price if Evans moves on. He showed a lot right away coming off the serious neck injury. I like Jalen McMillan as well. I do. I drafted a fair amount of him. I'm trying to actually slow off on that because Godwin will be there as well. Godwin, Igbuka will be on the team. Jalen McMillan. We'll see what happens with Evans. It's always weird when it's like a legacy guy. You know, he spent his entire career with the Bucks. He is a free agent. He could move on. They could move on from him. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I'm not sure if Evans. I'm not sure what'll happen with that. I do like even if Mike Evans is there, I don't care. I still like Jalen McMillan, so I'll still be drafting Jalen McMillan. But I just don't love the potential for Mike Evans and Chris Godwin to stay healthy all year. So give me some Jalen McMillan. I like Igbuka still. Yeah, but it is a little bit murky. But I agree with you. I definitely like Jalen McMillan. I just didn't want to put him on the list for these purposes. Watching on the TV till I crash. Good luck. Appreciate you, man. Best ball on call. Appreciate you popping in. Who do we got in this one? We got Hartman in the 3 spot. We've got King of QC in the 11 spot. I'm not sure if anyone else is in there. That's all right. Nice. A little bit of EV maybe. A little bit of EV to be had. I know King of QC is going to be sniping me at some point throughout this draft. In the 9 spot, how do you know it's an OTS? How do you know Cody's drafting? I'm in the 9 spot. I've been 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've been down here for the entire season so far for drafting. I have not gotten a 1 or 2 at all. One time I was 3rd. One time I think I was 4. I'm always down at the bottom. It's kind of getting frustrating because my exposures are kind of not in a great spot as far as guys I want to have, but it is what it is. What are you going to do? We play the hand we're dealt, you know? Does this look smaller to anybody else? Does the draft board look smaller? See if I could zoom in a little bit, maybe. Seems smaller, but maybe I'm just losing it. I can't really do that because then I can't see the whole thing. I have to scroll around. It's kind of annoying. Hopefully we can all see all right. That's kind of weird. Looks small to me, but Josh Allen goes 1-1. How do you know it's a badgeless drafter, hey? That's all right. That's all right. Could have just drafted him at 24, 25, but it's get your guys season already? Seems a little early for get your guys season. Would have been CeeDee Lamb. I just am having a super hard time clicking Christian McCaffrey. Give me some Amon-Ra. I can definitely bring it back with one of these running backs with pick 16 over here. Hopefully this guy doesn't do some crazy shit, this badgeless, but yeah, that's most certainly not cancel draft worthy. Absolutely not. So hopefully it stays that way. McCaffrey goes 10. I don't know. I have a hard time with McCaffrey. I have a hard time with McCaffrey. Yeah, maybe he just toggled over to projected points, you know, and just clicked the guy at the top. I don't know. Hard to say. Hard to say. Hard to say. Why'd you add the number 2 to your name, Hartman? What's that all about? Is this your backup? Is this your burner? What's that all about? Let's go Hampton. It's either Hampton or Love. And we'll do Hampton here. And I might do something I like doing in these draft boards. right now, when I can't get a certain quarterback, most likely without reaching. So we'll see. HN, Genty, I like that. King QC goes James Cook and Drake London. I like that. Hartman goes Gibbs. That's what I would do in that situation. For me, it's Bijan, Gibbs, Chase, Puka. Exactly how it went, actually. Yeah. Lamb and JT, it's tough for me. So maybe we will get into that. Like Lamb, people want to hate on Lamb. It's because you just started using official ad names is the closest I could use. Cool. Nice. Hartman 2, the sequel. There you go. Dragging in late. Also find myself passing on CNC. Appreciate you coming in. Yeah, it's just tough. We'll get into that, what I was getting to in a second there. We'll circle back on that. It's just tough. Yeah, with the amount of touches he had last year, he'll be another year older. It's pretty tough. It's pretty tough to just say he's going to keep doing that. He's not the stature of Derrick Henry, so I'm okay with Derrick Henry, but McCaffrey, I'm having a hard time. I was clicking him last year in the first round. I pulled him up to, I think I had him ranked 6th. I was picking him over Justin Jefferson where no one else was doing that, but it's tough this year. It's really tough this year. With that amount of touches last year, it's scary. HN is hard for me right now. He has all the talent in the world, but the wheels might fall off that organization. You're not necessarily wrong. Like he's still going to catch balls. He's still fast as fuck. So, I mean, I don't like Bobby Slowick particularly as an offensive play caller. They need some help on the offensive line, which they could, address in the draft. They don't have any money in free agency, so it does make it tougher to improve that team. But Jeff Hafley is a great defensive coach, so they can get the job done there. He's like defensive coaches with running backs, right? That's a good look. Chances are they're going to want to run the ball, control it, but he doesn't have that stature either. So I don't blame you for being hesitant on HN. It's just like he's the perfect for best ball type of guy, but does that make him a first round pick? I don't know. So I don't disagree with what you're saying. I'm not super high on HN. I'm not picking him a crazy amount, but I am gonna get some HN in my life, Kyron gets pulled up a little bit. So running backs are going to start going, which is fine. I don't like this range of running back. I don't mind ETN, but I don't like the Scadaboo, Henderson, Harvey little mini range of running backs. I'm going to bring up Lad here. So that's something I like to do when I'm not going to get Herbert. Like I'm just not, unless he falls to 1-0 or where is it? If he falls to 81 or whatever. Yeah, at 76. If he falls to 81, I suppose I would take him, but I probably still wouldn't. If he's there at 88, yeah, I'll click him. But I don't mind just team stacking these two stud players that I think are going to be massive in this offense. So I don't mind team stacking the Chargers like this and then just not drafting Herbert, not taking anyone else from the Chargers. I kind of like that, and I'm going to keep doing it here and there. I've done it a few times, and I'm going to keep doing it. But I just do not like this little mini range right here of running backs. Even the Judkins, I'm a little I think is questionable. Even Swift, like this whole page basically of running backs is not as cut and dry to me as it seems like it is to other people. But I could definitely be wrong on that. It's just, yeah, it's not as cut and dry to me. We're going to take Loveland here right at ADP. I just don't like anybody in this little range. Basically from Harvey up, I don't like anybody except for Colston. Like I'll draft some of them, but I don't like any of them to the extent that I'm going to like, oh, I have to have this player. I'm going to pull him up. It's just not that kind of thing for me. I'm always down for a Dolphins fade. There you go. I mean, yeah, -3% CMC and HN +6%. James Cooks feels like where I'd like to be. That's fair. I don't mind the James Cook area. For me, it's like Genty, Hampton, Love. those are the guys that I'm really liking in this kind of back end of the first range. Like, let's call it basically 10 through, I guess you can go way down to 20, 10 through 20. Give me, the Genty, Hampton, Love. Genty, famously or infamously, I complete fade on Genty last year, worked very well for me. And now I'm going to be in on him at that price with Clint Kubiak. What did I say last year about the Seattle Seahawks? This exact time of year, 1 year ago today, flashback. What did I say about the Seattle Seahawks and Clint Kubiak? The Kubiak system, give me the running backs and the tight ends. So give me Genty and give me Bowers. They do need to work on that offensive line, but they have the money to do it and a draft. So I think they'll kind of get there. But Clint Kubiak, in any Kubiak system, give me the running backs and the tight ends. Go watch a year ago from today, basically. And I was saying the exact same thing about the Seahawks. So I was drafting Kenny Walker. I was drafting Zach Charbonnet. And I wasn't really drafting the tight ends, though, because it was a murky situation in Seattle. Though I did have a little bit of Barner. A little bit. Not enough, but a tiny bit. I wish I drafted him more, but here we are. So one running back through 5, I don't necessarily love. Or through 4, sorry. I don't necessarily love. I feel like I got to catch up, but it's not going to be Swift. This is just a wide receiver range here. Lemon goes. That sucks. That would have been my insta click. So I could go with Rome and double stack with Loveland, but I kind of want to. I said last episode that I need to kind of force myself to take a little bit of Tyson. And if Lemon's gone, give me some Jordan Tyson. I want to have enough. I'm not going to be overly exposed like I will be to Lemon. Similar to Tate, it's going to be very close between Tyson and Tate as far as my 80 or my exposure percentage. But Mekhi Lemon's going to be my number one, no questions asked, as far as this range of rookie wide receivers. But I kind of have to force myself to take a little bit of Jordan Tyson. I don't not like him. It's just that I like Mekhi Lemon that much more. And then even guys like Waddle, who's right here, Waddle, Lemon, Igbuka's in that area. Those are kind of my clicks before both of these rookie wide receivers. So when it falls the way it did, I could, go Roma Dunze and then bring it back with Caleb, double stack the Bears with the, Detroit bring back. But I just don't want to do that. I don't want to overstack this year. I've talked about it in every episode so far. I don't need this double stack, bring back bullshit. Like, Loveland's great. Rome, there's question marks. I still like Rome a lot, and I will still be drafting him for sure. But I like a lot of these other clicks over Rome. So therefore, I absolutely do not need to be forcing Roma Dunze into my lineups just to double stack, triple stack, bring backs, blah, 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 all this fucking bullshit. So yeah, long-winded. You're welcome. The long-winded rant nobody asked for. I'm going to do Jaden Daniels here. I could go Caleb. But give me Jaden Daniels. I think his ceiling is higher. We saw that as a rookie. So if that's his rookie ceiling, I'm confident he can do better. David Blau comes in, rookie offensive coordinator. They need to put some work into this offense. They did re-sign Terry McLaurin, so he's back. That's great. They definitely need some work there, but they have some funds to do so. And again, a draft. I think a wide receiver is certainly on the menu, if not in the NFL draft, then definitely in free agency. Same thing with the running back position, tight end. That's a great tight end landing spot. A guy like Dallas Goedert could make a lot of sense for the Commanders. Even a guy like Pitts, could make a lot of sense for the Commanders. So I think they're going to invest in this offense. You kind of have to with how much they've lost and how little they have. But with the rushing ability and rushing upside of Jaden Daniels, plus I don't feel at all like I need to stack Jaden Daniels, because who the fuck are you stacking him with? Terry McLaurin, yeah, he's obviously already off the board here. I'm not necessarily in love with his price tag up here. I would take Lemon over him. I would take Waddle over him. So I'm not in love with Terry McLaurin's price right here, which it's not horrible. I just wish it would fall into like the 60s, like into the 6th round would make more sense. Right around where Sutton's going here would make more sense to me. But I don't feel the need to draft like who do Debo, just hoping that they re-sign him. Go nuts. Jordan Tyson could be a commander. So yeah, we'll see how that works out. So I like taking Daniels in this range. I do. It's got to stay healthy, obviously. Balanced build, 1131. Initially didn't like the Herbert price and a few other QBs before him, but the later QBs keep rising, so I'll take them. Yeah. It's a weird quarterback landscape this year. It's a very weird quarterback landscape. Give me Bayshaw here. I'll just take Bayshaw too. And I need to get a running back in my life. And if Etienne's gone, Bayshaw's kind of the guy. I like Bayshaw too. And I do still like, again, LaQuint Allen. Some people don't like this price for Bayshaw Tootin, but I'm all right with it. I can stomach the risk there. It is a weird quarterback landscape this year. I feel like, again, much like last year, I was saying this in the big board season. I was saying this in Best Ball Mania season. I'm not going to fall behind at quarterback. And it's similar this year, though there are some later round guys that I do like. Darnold, Mendoza, I think is fine. Bryce Young, I think, is a fine click in a 3-quarterback build, which you're pretty much always doing in the big board. Same thing with CJ Stroud. I don't hate Cam Ward. I don't mind Malik Willis, who probably goes to Miami, most likely. I'll even be drafting JJ McCarthy this year. Daniel Jones is probably back with the Colts, so he's clickable. And then I think Kirk Cousins is fine to click. I think he stays in Atlanta, but we'll see. But I think he's a fine click down there. So Pearsall would have been my click if King QC didn't go that direction. I would have waited until pick 88 probably to take Herbert, though hard to say. If he was there at 81, I might have just went ahead and clicked him. Running backs are kind of on the board, but do I want to go that route here? I don't know. I kind of bought myself some grace with Bayshaw Tootin, though I think Pollard is a fine click. Monunga, I think, is a fine click here. It's pretty good production from a backup. There goes Monunga. That's fine. I guess it's just Denzel Boston or Xavier Worthy. One or the other. Let's go with the rookie. Let's go with the rookie and Denzel Boston. I love his price as well. Love his price. Yeah, weird quarterback landscape. Do we know the injury recovery time for Scadaboo? Should he be fully healthy by training camp? I think he should be. I'm a little worried with a couple of these guys. I'm kind of glad you brought that up. Like, that's part of my big concern with that running back range. Where is it with that we just talked about? Right here, Scadaboo, Henderson, Harvey, right? That range of 3, that has me concerned with Scadaboo. How, like, he's the first one in that range, ADP wise, and he's coming off a pretty bad injury. Quinshon Judkins, same thing. Very similar. That was an awful injury. Both of these injuries were really bad. Plus, Cam Scadaboo is a walking conky, man. Walking concussion out there. So that concerns me. To sink that kind of draft capital into Cam Scadaboo makes me very, very nervous. Judkins, again, just a gruesome injury. And he's going higher than he was when he was a rookie. I liked both of these guys as a rookie. Cam Scadaboo kind of rose to where he was fine with where he was going at the end of the draft season there. But now to kind of have that, Like he halves his ADP roughly. I think that's aggressive coming off an injury. And we know how much he likes to put his head down and smash it into another guy's head. It's concerning, man. So I don't know if I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get there on Cam Scatterbo. He might be a 0 for me. We'll see. I do not like his ADP. Judkins as well. I have a hard time. It's a bad team with the Browns. Are arguably going to be worse next year. Like Stefanski or Todd Monken. Give me Stefanski. The offensive line is another year older. Shedeur Sanders is terrible. He's just not good. I'm sorry. Maybe he'll get there after this season if he starts every game, but we'll see. He's just not good right now. I don't know. These two worry me. Judkins and Scatterbo really concern me. Though I don't really love Trevion Henderson or Harvey in this range either, but I will click both of them. I have a hard time with Scatterbo. Hard time. Algier would have been my snap click there, but that's how she goes. Let's do Jared Goff. That makes a lot of sense. I've got him on Raw. Cool. Let's do that. Like I said, in every episode so far, I'm not focusing on stacking, but if it makes sense, sure. If it falls in my lap, I'll do it. And right here, it makes a lot of sense. So let's do it. Let's do it. So yeah, he should be, but man, it's just concerning. That's my long-winded take on both Scatterbo and Judkins. They both concern me. They both concern me quite a bit with their price tag. That's aggressive to come off those injuries. And for Scatterbo to play the way we know he plays, that's an aggressive, price tag for me. Bayou Bengals in here. What's up, man? Appreciate you. I'm doing very, very well. Appreciate you coming in, brother. Nah, Sanders looking like caca-doo-doo. I'm not a Sanders guy. I never have been, but never will be. I was dogging him so much last year. So much I was dogging Sanders, and I'm not stopping anytime soon. He's just not good, guys. Sorry. If you like him, I apologize, but it is what it is. Lolsimo's in here. What's up, man? Appreciate you popping in. Hit that like button for me, guys, if you don't mind. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. You see the ticker down below. We're at about 640 out of 1,000. We get to 1,000 before the NFL draft starts. We'll do another 12-hour live stream like we did last year. It was fun. Or 2 years ago? No, last year. It was fun. It was tiring, but it was a good time. Pay the rake, Little Miss Brady. We'll get to that in 2 seconds here. I'm going to make a pick. We're going to do, don't love this range, but we're going to go with Jennings. It's either Jennings or Coker, but give me Jennings here. Don't necessarily love it. It's really close. But I just like the potential. If Jennings comes back to the 49ers, which is very, very live, then I think that's kind of the nut landing spot realistically for Jennings, unless he goes to Buffalo. But I don't think they can afford him. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm taking them some, but it doesn't feel great. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Definitely a tough one. Smash that like button, you bet. Appreciate that. Yeah, hit the like button. We're trying to grow. We are growing. We have been growing. But I'd love to get to 1,000. Probably won't hit you guys with, not that anyone else is wrong or bad for doing it, but I probably won't hit you guys with any like membership stuff and paid stuff. Not that anyone else shouldn't. I'm not saying anything negative about some of my cohorts out there in the YouTube space, but I do this for myself more than anything, if I'm being honest. And if people appreciate the content and my opinion and my soapbox moments and things like that, then wonderful. Come on in and chat with me and we'll have some fun. If I ever get to the point of like thousands and thousands of subscribers, maybe we'll monetize the channel. But where we're at right now, I'm not too concerned about it. So I run 12 months a year too. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Stop by Bayou Bengal. Runs live streams, drafts live on stream. So head over there. You got like double my subscribers, so killing it. I do not go 12 months. I take the whole NFL season off because it's just really, number one, I get too busy with my personal life, my professional life, I should say, not my personal life. It's my real job. I get too busy with during the NFL season, so I just can't comfortably make content and put out a good product that I'm happy with and comfortable with. So I just don't do it. And this is my favorite time of year right now. Right now, until the NFL draft, the NFL season starts, that's my season. That's my favorite time of year by far, not even close. So that's when I like to make the content. No time to stop for us, brother. Yeah, man, you that's killing it, man. I just can't do it. I can't. Mind you, I can't for, again, professional reasons. Like my job basically won't allow me to make content during the NFL season. And it's a nice break, nice reset. And then we just basically draft season. We're kind of all in. Nice. Got my guy, Emmett Johnson. I was just staring him down. Guy ticking the clock all the way down to take Dobbs. That's fine. Gave me Emmett Johnson. Love that. Love that. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. We're growing slowly but surely. Good little community of peeps that put up with me, put up with my strong takes and unwillingness to bend to the man, to the best ball cabal, you know? Everybody seems to be on Scattaboo at this price. And I'm just like fully off personally, having a really hard time with that. So you're not going to convince me otherwise. Like it's kind of how she goes. You know, that's the unfortunate thing of watching this channel and putting up with me is, you know, you're not going to talk me into anything. It's not going to happen. So, but I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong. It's going to be one of these two quarterbacks. Let's just do it. I don't care which one realistically, Sam Darnold or Mendoza, but we're going to go Darnold if that's the case. We're going to go Darnold. Tyson or Boston, like Seattle's definitely a landing spot for a wide receiver in the NFL draft. Rashid Shaheed could come back and just kind of kill that anyways, but it doesn't really matter. Give me Darnold. Another year. No, never mind. The offensive coordinator just left. We're going to have a fresh offensive coordinator, but that's fine. I'm done at quarterback here too. This is kind of the range where I want to take my last quarterback, and I'm typically doing 3 regardless. I could do just 2 with Jane Daniels and Goff, but like Goff is kind of that mid-range where I can take a third, and Jane Daniels has that injury risk. So give me a cheap Darnold. You know, got him at a bit of a discount. So, you know, and with the 20th round, the 2 extra rounds, I'm typically doing 3, 6, 8, 3. Typical build, you know, in the big board season. So we can kind of get off. We're off of quarterbacks. There's no way in the world we're drafting a 4th. That's for sure. Emmett Johnson is going to be a riser. He has amazing lateral ability, the type of guy that can make you miss in a phone booth. Absolutely. My comp for Emmett Johnson is James Cook. So I really, really liked Emmett Johnson. Really like him. He moves up. With this Nick Singleton kind of injury, he moves up to latest 3. I think PPR Tyler, I think he has him as his RB2, which I definitely can't argue with this Nick Singleton thing. I can't argue with that at all, but I like Kaytron Allen a lot. I really, really do. More than most. I like Kaytron Allen. So, man, something in my eye over here. Jeez. But Emmett Johnson's right there as well. I really like him. Really, really like him. I was higher on James Cook than most in his rookie year, in his draft year. At least I think I was. I can't remember. I'd have to go watch some, my own videos if I really want to, but I honestly don't care enough, so I won't. But either way, I feel like Scotty was one of the most polarizing, where people are fully in or out at that price. Fair enough. I haven't heard anybody being out. That's the thing. I haven't. I don't know. Let me know if you are, or if someone is. Even Little Miss Brady, pay the rake earlier, was saying, taking him some, but doesn't feel great about it. But I don't know. I haven't seen anybody be out on Scattaboo. Let me know. Hopefully people are. They should be. I think people should be. I am. I think people should be more hesitant at that price tag. That's for damn sure. But we'll see how she goes. We'll see. Let me know if anyone else is out on him. I don't know anyone else who's dodging them, but this guy's just auto drafting. Nice. Juwan Johnson. That leaves Mark Andrews for me. Smash click here. I think that's a really nice tight end room texture too. Loveland and Andrews. Probably will still take a third, but I already have a guy in mind that I really like that I think will fill out this tight end room. But it'll be a late pick. Done at quarterback, obviously. Where does Shaheed go? 142. Okay, that makes sense. I was looking for him and he wasn't there. I was like, he should be in this range. That makes sense. He kind of is in this range. That's fine. That is fine. Jonathan Brooks goes early. Get your guys. We're already in get your guys season. Kind of is. It's almost more of a get your guys season in the big board than it is in like Best Ball Mania season. That may be like a hot take, but it's almost more of a get your guys season because there's more polarization. Damn it, I wanted Tajay there. That's kind of the last guy in that range. Let's pull up Chimere DK. Let's pull him up. I don't love that, to be honest, at all, but it's kind of a panic click. It's like DK or McMillan. I could have went Jalen McMillan, and that's probably a better click there. But I like the just like the best ball ability of Chimere DK. And once you're in the 14th round, I don't give a shit what ADP is. Go nuts. So yeah, Jonathan Brooks is fine. Go nuts. DK is fine. I maybe should have taken McMillan, but these running backs were kind of what I was hoping to get come back to me there. Spears, Kamara, Braylon, or Mason all would have been fine. Other than that, it's like down here, Nick Singleton, but I don't particularly want to bring him up with the injury. So Barner, yeah, I could have to stack with Darnold. I guess Troy Franklin is fine here too. That would have been okay, but I don't know. I like DK. He had a really big year. Should expand on last year's kind of stat profile. And he's just, lightning in a bottle, big play, 70-yard touchdown waiting to happen. So give me some Chimere DK action. Plus, like, you remember back in Daboll's day with the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, how many deep balls Stephon Diggs caught in that offense? That's kind of where I'm at with the DK situation, but we'll see how she goes. It feels high, but I can't bring myself to be out. Upside feels really high, but I'm not sure how realistic that is on the G-Men. Yeah, I mean, again, it's just, and we'll see, like, if it's Cliff Kingsbury, like, goal line touchdowns, sure, but is he going to be like a 1,200-yard rusher? I doubt it. Yeah, he'll catch passes. Again, he's just like a walking concussion. And then with the like lower body foot, or I think it was a foot, right? Foot injury. It's just too many question marks for me with Scadaboo for that price tag. Like if he was going in the, even in the, like, I don't know. Yeah, in this range here, like the Corum Manungai, to me, that's kind of where he belongs. Maybe at the front end of that, like behind Pollard. I think Pollard over Scadaboo, if I'm being honest with you. It's close, but yeah, I could be talked into that for sure. I just think the price is off, very off on Scadaboo, personally. Rachaad White's a tough one. He's a tough one. And I'll get into that in a second for why I think he's a tough one. Let's just go Isaiah Likely. I was going to click Eli Stowers here. Stowers. But let's go Likely. I like that. Andrews Likely, Loveland. I like that. We're done at tight end, obviously. Yeah, Rachaad White's a tough one for me just because we know how inefficient he is as a runner. It's been proven time and time again how inefficient he is as a runner. Excellent catcher of the football for sure, but inefficient as a runner. So is a team going to fully trust him as their kind of starting 1A, 1B type of running back? I'm not so sure. So it's a question mark. It's a question mark for me. But I do think I should get a little bit in the 15th round with a weak rookie running back class. I think I should be clicking a little bit more Rachaad White, but it's just doesn't feel amazing. Doesn't make me warm and fuzzy. Tesla could be a guy, I guess. Franklin's falling. Franklin is probably the click here. Yeah, Franklin kind of might have to be the click here, even though I don't love it, but that's a good price. All right, he goes. Let's just do Singleton, I guess. I still really like him. It's the 16th round. A few picks past ADP where he's going to continue to fall to. But give me Nick Singleton. Where I was pulling him up to the 14th round, I'll now take him in the 16th. Sure. Let's do that. I need running backs. Makes some sense. I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that. Yeah, McMillan over DK was really the only click that makes a lot of sense. If the Eagles want to stay similar to how they were offensively last year, I think Likely makes a lot of sense. And again, with how much money they like to spend, I think the contract that they could give Isaiah Likely would make a lot of sense for them. And again, if they want to go to a more traditional style offense with a, hand in the dirt inline tight end, I think Kate Otten could be that guy for them. So yeah, you're telling me, Dallas Goedert versus Isaiah Likely. I think they can do the exact same things, but I honestly think Likely could do in that offense, could do a better job than Dallas Goedert. He could certainly do a better job of staying healthy. I'll say that. So that could be really fun. That could be really fun. He could be Kevin Stefanski's Harold Fannin in Atlanta. He could be that kind of player too. So that's a good landing spot for Likely. He could be everything the Dolphins got and more out of Darren Waller last year in Miami. I don't mind that. Shit, I'll take him on my Bengals. I'll take Isaiah Likely. So there's a lot of decent landing spots for him and offenses where I think he'll really fit in. So yeah, I like Likely down here. He's one of my targets. I was team Ayumanor over DK. Felt like Ellick and Cam had a connection, but don't have the stats to back it. Realistically, they were like neck and neck as far as stats last year. 102, I think. No, 96 fantasy points. Let's just finish. Let's draft who we need here. What are we doing? Let's go like that. Let's go Jeremy Bernard. He's my guy. I'm going to get him. And if I don't, I'm very confident King QC is going to take him from me. So let's get Jeremy Bernard there. Iomanor at the top of the list here. 96 fantasy points, 515 yards, 4 touchdowns, 89 targets, 41 catches, right? Tremere DK, he had 102. So he had more fantasy points, same amount of touchdowns, a little bit less yards, more or less the same targets. more catches. So 41-74, 44-74. Yeah, more catches, less targets. And the big playability is Chimere DK. So as far as like best ball is concerned, give me Chimere DK over Iomanor for sure. Like what Alec Iomanor can do in that offense can be replaced more easily than what Chimere DK can do in that offense. So if the Titans, even if they drafted Eric McAllister, the Titans draft Eric McAllister, he could take Alec Iomanor's job completely. He cannot take Chimere DK's job. I don't know if there's any wide receiver in this year's class that can take Chimere DK's job. So, yeah, that's another kind of piece of the puzzle there for me. Let's take Coleman. Let's take Keon Coleman. Finish out our wide receiver room. Couple running backs to finish this one out. Yeah. I think we're in a good spot on this team. That's how I feel about the Titans offense and Chimere DK, Iomanor, that whole conversation. They're definitely in the wide receiver market. I don't think Ridley will be back. I'm not sure if he's a free agent. Is Ridley a free agent? Either way, I do not think Ridley will be back. I don't think he's a free agent. I think they need to cut him. And I think that's entirely on the table. But yeah, it's just as far as the offense is concerned, give me DK. And realistically, as far as like any offense, if this were the same story in any team, give me DK over the Alec Iomanor archetype. Jordan James sighting in the 18th round. Don't mind that. Yeah, he can add 6 points, anytime he touches the ball. So no yards on that, but 6 points is 6 points. That's obviously the difference in their total points, 102 versus 96. The big difference there is he had, I think, 2 return touchdowns, Chimere DK. So, I mean, even without them, it's pretty close, but he had 2, I believe. So 6 points is 6 points. Definitely helps. Point is, like, with like DK is 1 touch away from cracking your lineup. Iomanor, even if he gets a 5-yard touchdown, fade in the end zone, that sort of thing, give me the Chimere DK 70-yard touchdown over the 5-yard fade, right? Bigger board currently at 6-12. Ooh. 6-12 for a bigger board, eh? Do we want to do that? Let's see. How many likes are we at? 16 likes. Pitiful. I don't know if we'll have time. Oh, geez, I'm on the clock. Oh, auto draft. Ray Davis. All right. Actually, I'm all right with that. That'll work. I would have taken Najee, and I will if he's still there. Looking at nonsense on the phone. I'm okay with Ray Davis. I probably wouldn't have done that with the Keon Coleman, but that's okay. It's an okay team to stack, right? At least it wasn't another tight end or quarterback or some nonsense. It was the position I needed. I'm okay with Ray Davis. I got to pay more attention. Jeez. Don't think this guy is in the chat. Is he trying to do a bigger board right now? Is he in it? What's going on there? I know BBG's live right now. I'm live. If Candyman's live, I believe Fanspeak is live. It's a little ridiculous. It's crazy. Saturation in this thing. When I was first streaming, it was like Not as many. Not as many as there is now. Um, what do I want to do here? I think I got to take more upside at running back. This is a pretty soft running back room for sure. Very soft. I really need Tootin to be a guy and Emmett Johnson. Other than that, like this is kind of soft as baby shit right here. Let's do Mike Washington. Let's take a chance that he is loved by the NFL. Let's take a chance on the upside over Najee's upside. Let's take a chance on that. Yeah, that's like a dynasty show. Stream with Bindles, call the guys, make it happen. That's a dynasty show. I don't even know if they're drafting best ball tonight. I don't even know if they're drafting tonight, those guys. They're doing like the dynasty talk tonight. And BBG will be live for about 4 more hours. So you got that to look forward to. We're probably going to wrap it up, actually. I'm going to go. I got some other stuff to do this evening. Yeah, it's about an hour and a half show. Pretty good show. Usually we do 2 drafts, but we're only going to do the one. We will go over the teams. So we're going to go over mine. We'll go over Hartman's and King of QC, obviously. Let's do Hartman's first, but it's going to kick me out. So let's wait for 2 more picks, and then we'll go over these. We'll go over these squads. All right, Najee's the last pick. Let's go Hartman's first. Hartman's got the goat horns, Had a baby. 3692. We got Jalen Hurts, a little bit of a discount. That's good. Bryce Young and Ty Simpson. Little on the softer side, especially if the push gets banned. A little on the softer side of QB. But let's see. We got Gibbs, Barkley, Jacobs, Brian Robinson, Caleb Johnson, Jaden Blue. Obviously, like the first 3. I'm not really drafting much of Jacobs, but I probably should. We'll see if I get there. But I like the first 3. Obviously, takes a huge break, which is completely fair. That's what you would do when your first 3 picks are running backs. Brian Robinson, free agent. We'll see where he goes. Caleb may fall into favor or just be completely dead with the Steelers. And then Jaden Blue had a great game in week 18 last year, so he could maybe be something. But I don't mind this. I mean, the top 2 and then the third, all good. Doesn't, you get your guys down here, so I'm fine with it. Devontae, Christian Watson, Jordan Addison, Chris Godwin, Concepcion, Ayuk, Ridley, Horton, and Noel. A lot of risk here. A lot of risk here at the wide receiver room, Hartman. You got an old, Devontae Adams, whose hamstrings couldn't hold up last year. Christian Watson, whose hamstrings haven't been able to hold up his entire career. Injuries is, ACL. Jordan Addison, who can't stay out of, jail, can't stay out of legal trouble over there. Chris Godwin hasn't been able to. I like Chris Godwin, so I don't want to talk negatively about him, but hasn't been able to stay healthy. Concepcion, 19 drops in his college career. That's a little bit difficult. Brandon Ayuk, complete head case, obviously. Isn't going to be on the 49ers, so we don't know where he's going. Ridley, old as dust, might have just fallen off a cliff. I feel like I'm what's BBG call this when he just dogs your team? I feel like that's what I'm doing, but here we are. Yeah, probably not on the Titans either. 32, I believe, years old. Torrey Horton, I don't mind. That could be fine. He could be the wide receiver 2 there. Jalen Noel, I don't mind that. He could be the wide receiver 2. So I don't mind your last 2 wide receivers. But other than that, that's a lot of risk. That's a lot of risk. But hey, do your thing. Tyler Warren, Laporta, that works. I like that. I'm okay with 2 there. That's a lot of risk at wide receiver. Might be light on the QB room. We'll see. We'll see. Let's go to King of QC. Drake May, Jordan Love, Michael Penix. That's fine. Like Penix is a bit of a question mark for me. I'm I'm drafting Kirk Cousins over Michael Penix, if I'm being honest. But I like May and Love. That's good. May is starting to fall to where he should, a little even lower than this, but that's fine to get him at a discount here. James Cook, Travis Etienne, Tyrone Tracy, Katron Allen, Jordan Mason, and Kamara. I really like this. That makes a lot of sense. I'm not a big Tracy guy, but again, everything that I've been saying about Scadaboo, makes Tracy a little bit more valuable. 131, that's fine. This is a good room. I like this running back room. Drake May, Garrett Wilson, DK Metcalf, Ricky Pearsall, Pittman, Reed, Kyle Williams, my guy. Stacked up Reed, stacked up Penix potentially, stacked up Kyle Williams. That's okay. I don't mind this room overall. It's fine overall. I like the talent with Garrett Wilson, but who knows what the quarterback situation is going to be. Weird quarterback situation, but give me Drake London. I like Drake London a lot. DK is just nuts. And again, cute quarterback situation. I'm not drafting DK pretty much at all right here in this range. Ricky, I like. Pittman's fine. He may or may not be with the Colts. We'll see. Jaden Reed's okay. I don't necessarily love his price. And Kyle Williams, one of my guys. I'm down with that. Kelsey, Otten, Gesicki, and Mayer. We'll see if Mayer's on this team. Probably will be. Not a lot of incentive to trade him. Definitely not to cut him. Gesicki's an interesting one. K-Dot, I don't mind. I think he's got some opportunities to go somewhere and get a boost. And then Travis Kelce may or may not be back, but I think he will be. So that's fine. Interesting squad there. Interesting squad. I build kind of weird. Yeah, I thought your wide receiver room was definitely just a lot of risk over there. I felt like I'm out of practice. Who knew 2 wide receivers by pick 100 was a bad idea? Yeah, that's a gritty ass wide receiver room, dog. Gritty's still doing that whole thing. Saucing. I feel like I'm just saucing the shit out of Hartman's wide receivers, but was it undeserved? I mean, that was a lot of risk over there. We'll finish up on this squad. Jaden Daniels, Goff, and Darnold. Very strong quarterback room. I'm happy with that. Soft running back room. I'm definitely concerned. Hampton's very, very good. 2nd round pick. Love me some Hampton, but nothing till 81 with Tootin, Emmett Johnson, Singleton, Ray Davis, straight handcuff, 100% handcuff, 0 standalone value. Mike Washington, I'm not even sure I love as a prospect, but he's getting a lot of positive buzz right now, and I don't mind him. He had a good Senior Bowl. Nick Singleton with the injury. This is a fairly soft-ass running back room. I don't feel good about it, but I think I can catch up in other spots, hopefully. Amon-Ra, McConkey, Jordan Tyson, Denzel Boston, Jennings, DK, Jeremy Bernard, and Keon Coleman. I like this room. It's a little bit, I want to say, it seems like it's a little rookie heavy for me, but it's only 3 out of 8, so it's kind of not. Jennings, we'll see what the landing spot is. Big play with DK. Coleman's got to kind of bounce back, but I love Amon-Ra is Amon-Ra. I love McConkey. These rookies are really good. What's going to make this room tick? Tyson and Boston, they're going to decide whether this team is any good or not, essentially. So a lot of risk there too, actually. I'm not sure about this team, but I do like my tight end room a lot. Loveland, Andrews, likely. That's super, super strong. Quarterbacks are super strong. Some question marks at running back and wide receiver. I'll say that. I will say that, but I don't mind the squad. I don't mind the build. Running backs a little on the light side. Rookies are going to decide this team. Emmett Johnson, Mike Washington, even Nick Singleton for sure, and then Tyson, Boston, to an extent Bernard, but really Tyson and Boston. Rookies are going to decide this team. So we'll see how it works out. We're going to get out of here for the night. 1.5-hour episode. Usually we do 2 drafts, but we had a little bit more chat about the value hounding and talked about it while we were drafting as well. I'm going to take a night off tomorrow. By that, I'm just going to watch tape. So definitely not a night off of football and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to watch tape tomorrow, get caught up a little bit over there. We'll be back live Wednesday night. Same time, same best ball time, same best ball channel type of thing. Hit the like button on your way out if you haven't. If you're new to the channel, hopefully I've earned the subscribe. Like I said, Wednesday night, like I always say on Off the Schneid, if you're afraid to be wrong, you will never be right. Hopefully tonight we won the big board over here. Have yourselves a great night.